Bibby will try again.
James, recognizing nobody's there, has an appointment with the basketball and finishes it emphatically.
Welcome to the Putback Show. Shout out to our Ramblers, shout out to our Cadets, shout out to our players in the dunker spot ready to get the second chance dunk for the putback. We told you in our last video that we are going to be consistent, and this is another part of we showing you we are serious this year. And this January, we saw Karl Anthony Towns drop 60 plus. We saw Embiid drop 60 plus. Yesterday we saw Luka drop 60 plus, and we saw Booker drop 60 plus. And I think I've heard so many people on Twitter, that is Ghana Twitter, US Twitter, like NBA Twitter, they were like, people are not playing defense. People are not defending. How are the offense getting this type of numbers? How are individual players getting these numbers? Relax. There are so many things factoring for these kind of productions. So first of all, people are like, teams are not playing defense, and it's a lie. I did my research and I searched from the 2000 and 2001 season to this season. And in 2001 season, the defensive rating was 96.6, and then now it's 110%. It's just 14.6 difference. How are you telling me teams are not playing defense? Teams are playing playing defense, but we should account for the skill sets and how good the offense of now basketball players have been, or now basketball teams have been. And I also did another research of offensive ratings for decades. That is 1990s, 1980s, 2000s, up to now. So in 1970s, that is on an average, the defensive rating was 99.8. In 1980s, it was 106.9. In 1990s, it was 107.0. In 2000s, it was 105.3. In 2010s, it was 0.7.3. In 2020s, that is this era we are in now, is 112.9. So you see, even in the best of the best offense that we claim it was, now people have found out how to play better because of certain factors. And when we talk about offensive rating, what is offensive rating? Offensive rating is points per 100 possessions. So when we say a team has 110 offensive rating, it means they have 110 points per 100 possessions. That's within games or within the season. So there are so many factors that we can consider that have brought up this offensive uproar in teams and then in individual performances, like the players I mentioned that are producing high numbers in January. We can talk about everyone is shooting threes now, spacing, post-ups, and then free throws. So let's start with everyone shooting threes now. The number of threes being shot this season or in now basketball is way, way, way better and even more than 10 years before. Now, if you are a center and you want to play in an NBA team now, it's a requirement for you to shoot three. So whilst you are shooting three, it brings up spacing. That is my second point. Now there's more spacing. Teams are spacing. Imagine Jordan had this amount of spacing and he was left alone. That is his teammates were spacing the floor. He was the only person left to operate in the paint. Just imagine what he would have done. Pepe didn't have this amount of spacing. Kobe didn't have this amount of spacing. Now there's so much spacing because people are shooting threes. Like I said, it's a requirement for most players, the five players on the court, to shoot. So now there's spacing. So if there's spacing, they leave the best players in the paint to operate. And that is why you see Booker producing more numbers, LeBron producing more numbers. You see players like Embiid producing more numbers because their teammates are spread across, or are spacing the floor, leaving them alone in the paint to operate. So no one is impeding them. No one is asking for a pass, one dribble pull-ups, two dribble pull-ups, fadeaways, and it leads to the post-ups too. When players of high level, like the KDs, like the LeBrons, when they are in the paint and they are operating, or when they are driving, or when they are in the post-up, obviously the help defender will come to help. And once you do that, they are finding their players who have spaced up. And you see, that also influences the offensive rating now. It wasn't like that before. Because before, like in the time of Jordan and in the time of Kobe, the number of players who could shoot threes were limited. But now everyone can shoot. So the paint is not clogged. We leave the paint for the best player to operate. And then when he's posting up on maybe a mismatch or maybe the help defender overcommit, he's passing to his teammate and it's a bang. And that is why offensive ratings are so high now. And then now I get into one of the most controversial topics in the NBA now, that is free throws. You know, from 1780 to now, the number of free throws being scored has gone down, or the number of teams getting free throws have gone down. So it's not like teams are getting more free throws. It's a matter of the best players have hacked the system. The NBA is a system, and they found a way to hack the system. Like a player like Embiid, you can't tell me Embiid is getting more free throws because the referees are how should I put it, are favoring him. It is, like I've always said, shooting free throws or getting fouls on free throws, it's a skill now, and it takes intelligence. And that is why offensive ratings have gone so high. So teams are shooting more threes, they are spacing the floor, they are posting up, that is their best players, and then they are kicking it out to their best players, and then free throws. That is why offensive ratings have gone so high. So it is not like now teams, and you see, it's when you put it in your mind that an NBA player will be in his house, premeditate before matches, and be like, okay, when I go into this game, I'm not going to play defense. It's a lie. Then you have it all wrong. Because no player, no defender wants to be in a highlights reel. Because once you are crossed, once a player blows by you and it's so ridiculous, you get into highlights reels, and no one wants to get there. So teams are actually playing defense, but we need to give shout outs to the skill sets of now players, because now players are so skilled, they can shoot more, and they have so much in their bag, and they have so much things to do as compared to before. So that is why players like Embiid, like the LeBrons, like the Booker, like the Kevin Durant, like the Embiid are able to score 60 plus points, because it's not because people are not playing defense, but they are now skilled, and then now right now the offensive prowess of individual players and the offensive prowess of teams have gone high. So if you really enjoyed this video, please click on the subscribe button, put us on post notification, we'll be back with so many videos, and thank you for watching the video.